Hi friends, welcome back. So I posted a video about his feelings and their family's opinion of you, and I thought these are heavy stuff, so I always want to leave you on a positive note, um, in a sense where while we uncover things, it would be best if I were to give you an optimistic outlook on things or what you can look forward to. So, and thus this idea came to mind, creating a video, a reading centered around the idea of, this is what's going on, but what can you focus on, or what can we do, or basically what can we think about in your situation that will basically make it make sense, or at least make you feel better, because there are like differences in like pain and suffering, where for example you experience pain and suffering becomes it becomes suffering where you don't understand it, or you make the experience mean something negative. And in this case I thought, like, who doesn't want a healthy, loving, and honest intimacy, like relationship? uh, and so like I thought, I'm sure the cards, if asked, will most likely show us what can you look forward to. So yeah, this topic like haunted me yesterday. um, I don't know when I'll post this video, but like yesterday I thought, like, heavy stuff, that's good, self-awareness, awesome, support, validation, but we need something as well as an add-on, and here I thought, like, let's do what can you look forward to. Like, yeah, as I said, this video can be different things for different people, meaning that for some this will be an explanation behind why things are going in a certain way. For some this will be like what you can expect in the future. Like, I decided I'll focus on that. For others it will be like finding the meaning and finding the silver lining. And yeah, basically that's the intention for the reading. I wanted to say thank you so much, thank you so much for the comments. I have to say that the first thing in the morning is like me checking the notifications for comments, because I'm so curious how people will find my content and what is their experience with it. And me seeing like posts like, the reading is resonant, then the reading is complex, like I so appreciate these. Aside from the idea of wanting to help or wanting to bring something to the table and to the world, feeling like I get the right feedback and not the criticism is something that is very, very refreshing and energizing, and like giving me the drive to continue on. So I would like to say a huge thank you for the support. Um, Whoever you are, this is like a very pleasant thing. This is like my favorite thing to do, is to read comments. And yeah, I'm open to suggestions. And keep in mind that if you find something that needs to be improved, or maybe like if you don't enjoy some parts of the reading, this could be as well a signal for me, meaning that I have to adjust. So I have to adjust the process for it to be best oriented towards your help and improvement, basically. And if you find something interesting that is worth mentioning and I can't change, can because there are things that are pretty like um, hard to change. But yeah, like I've heard someone said, like, can you do like close-up photos of the stones? I would like to, but that is like at this point a little bit stressing me out with the editing and stuff. So I am so like centered around more so the message. I hope I can fix that in the future, however. So just in case, drop your suggestions if you want future readings on certain topics. But yeah, I guess that's all in the introductory section. I will go ahead and say the names of the stones I have picked for this reading. You have 4 piles with 4 stones or crystals. First stone, it's light blue, it's aquamarine. Second, looks a little bit orange, but it's because of the lighting. It's actually pink tourmaline. Or I don't know if it's like purple or actually pink tourmaline. I got it like from a Russian shop uh, type of thing, and they said like it's pink, and I don't know if it's the translation or something, but yeah. So third stone is black tourmaline, and the last one is pyrite. So pick your pile as well, see if it resonates with more piles, because the messages could be scattered and you could find something that catches your interest in other piles as well. This is going to be a reading of like explanation of your life and explanation of your the explanation for your struggles, I guess. So yeah, you can even watch all of them if you feel drawn to, so to do that. So yeah, your choice. I will be seeing you each in your timestamps. Hello and welcome to your reading pile 1. So you have the aquamarine stone chosen for the first pile. I will begin by saying that I will be focusing on different aspects. So that means if it makes sense for this pile to explain the reason behind their suffering or the challenges, the silver lining, then that's going to be it. If it's going to be a more future positive not podcast but outlook, then I guess that's for you. We will begin by looking at the center card, which has in Romanian something from Louise Hay, and it basically says that my spiritual evolution comes and manifests itself from things that I do not know. I know that I'm always safe. It feels to me like this pile specifically could have some control issues. And I'll go ahead and say that I strongly resonate with that message as well. It feels to me like you might be that person to grasp onto control. And for some, this could sound like, are you crazy? Like, why don't you want to have control? Well, trust me, I've been there. There is a feeling of it's more the mental body where you feel like you have to be in charge of every single thing in your life. And when I say this resonates with this pile, it could be the case that you are feeling this way in life, where you could feel singled out, where you could feel like everyone around you or everything around you needs to be sorted out, understood, and you are by yourself, basically. Or that you have to orchestrate and arrange or organize, make it happen, like the healing, the good things. I want to say that I love that this quote is here. I've heard it from another author saying that if you know everything, or if you knew everything, then you wouldn't need help. And it's so true for me, and for this pile as well it will be, because it feels to me like you have to be or you have to have a level of vulnerability with the idea that you do not control everything, and that good things that followed you and happened in your life will always happen, believe it or not, whether you want it or not. That's it. Like, that's a little bit about releasing, giving up control, as well as not taking responsibility upon things that are um, not for you to decide. So that means for me not completely relinquishing control, but seeing what's the degree in which you can, or what you can do in your situation. That means not being attached to outcomes and seeing exactly the fraction of the work or of your free will that you can exercise in one situation or another, you know. Where do I even go? Lots of cards. I feel like I'll begin by this corner. It's the garden um, card. So I don't know if you are or will in the future, maybe, like if you haven't received the things that I will describe, then that means it will be about your future. So the blessing or the what you can look forward to with the garden and these people means to me that you'll have a social recognition or respect or lots of social like links. So that means or feels to me like this could be friends, this could be relatives, this could be overall connections of the heart, let's say. Maybe not all of them, but you will have a decent amount of connectivity no matter what is happening with you. Like right below you got the um, cross card. Cross card is, apart from religion and stuff like that, is classically associated with pain. And I feel like no matter what it is that is gonna happen or it is happening to you in varying intensity, you will have assistance. And this assistance feels to me like it will be on different levels of different kinds, meaning that with the garden, you might have friends to be out there for you. You might meet a person who will be present with you when you are in distress, for example. What else? With this cross card, I feel like you will not expect the blessings. And when I say I don't like the word blessings because it's a very vague thing, but what I mean in here is basically support. And it will come seemingly out of nowhere. So that means when you will need money, it will appear. When you will need the connections, they will appear. And you will not be left alone. Even in that feeling of control, I feel like for many of you, you are not specifically or conscious about the fact that, you know, you have been taken care of in one way or another. Like, whether you needed like to go specifically through a lesson or another, you still had some support and you will have that. So that is something like, especially in here with the lighting. So it might seem like you will be placed in circumstances, places with people that seem random, that seem chaotic, but it will be neatly tailored towards your immediate help. It will be as well immediately tailored towards your needs. That as well feels to me like you are not going to know what you specifically need, but it is going to be given to you. What else do we have here? I feel like the Chariot card, like it's in reverse. So you might be having standards in your life that can be seen as, you know, I have a certain concept of how things should be going or how things should look like or what I want to achieve for me to feel this genuine sense of happiness. For some it will be even in the material like realm, specifically like with an accent there. But again, this pile feels to me like you don't really know what will make you happy. And the example which I saw and I remember from Byron Katie's work, where she said that, you know, has it occurred to you that when you achieve something that you want, you start chasing another thing? So it's that I'm not saying you don't have to chase what you want. You have to just be open to this idea that you never stop wanting or projecting this feeling of hunger upon things that are not not yet achieved, you know. Oh my god, I'm so scattered, like I'm looking at cards at the same time and giving me a hard time concentrating. But yeah, many of you who will be experiencing like lows, like emotional lows, like when you are down, when you are heartbroken, I feel like there will be spikes of energy. Like if you were stuck on things like, for example, someone could be stuck on breakup, and it will feel like the world is ending, or it will feel like it is immensely like painful. I feel like for this pile, you will not hang on and sit in this for too long, or by the nature of feeling and not resisting the negative experiences that you will come across with this Ten of Swords. I feel like the flexibility, I forgot the word. It's not the flexibility necessarily, but this ability to basically rise again from a challenge and regroup and go forward, because I got in here the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is like these moments where life feels so tough that I don't have the energy, or it doesn't feel like there is a way out, let's say. So I could expect this spell to go through a lot of powerlessness, despair, sadness as well. An idea of things were better in the past, but it feels to me like if you were to allow yourself to just like observe these, or to just be present with the sensation it brings into your body, for example, you will quickly like shift, find the way, or by nature, by being present with this like sensation that is linked to an emotion, for example, you'll find the key to transitioning between states. And with the Ace of Wands, it feels to me like you will be so quick to rise again that many will think like, it's not even that, but it feels to me like many will think that, people in general, when they stumble across things, I saw that as well, they get stuck. So they kind of are there emotionally in a past situation that is haunting them and is like following them to the ends of the world, no matter how much they try to hide from it. It's like the idea of shadow, like a shadow that chases you, and thus, you do shadow work. So it feels to me like you are very transformative in nature. Like transformation comes with the idea of Scorpio to me, because that's the most like transformative concept linked to the zodiac sign. But I don't know, like I do not pick on, it was not in my intention to specifically pick your zodiac sign, but I feel like there is some transformation, and there is going to be status in here. So status, recognition, respect, and a deep sense of like we know that person and we're proud to have them in our like friends list or something like this. You could be very self-aware as well. Six of Swords, so that came in the package of you moving forward. I feel like no matter what it is that is happening right now, there will be not only a movement, like a psychological movement, but in time, or it could be even a short time, that you will experience even like a physical movement. That means, for example, a set of circumstances, your life, picture yourself, your struggles, and the places, the relationships, people, oh my God, everything that is interlinked and carries this emotional charge. Once you release it, there will be like a things setting back in motion type of situation. So it feels to me like you will be at one point even moving forward, like physically, if you desire that. So it's not about like being stuck and hanging out at a place or in a relationship that is not fulfilling. So as well with the Page of Pentacles, if you're experiencing a low level, like if you're experiencing like money is not enough or you're saving a lot, know that this will change for the better and it will be a spike in finances. The more you work on yourself, the more you accept these challenges and embrace them, you will experience a level of like transformation, not only, as I said, spiritually, psychologically, but as well, there is going to be an evolution that will kick things into the idea of money. I love that I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles right as I'm talking about this, because you've got the Ten of Pentacles, the next card to it is Three of Pentacles. So with this representation, I want to say the quarreling, the problems could be very much reflected in your interpersonal relationships. So that means most likely this is going to be a couple situation. So the most pain you could receive, it could be from that. That's of course general knowledge for me. I mean, I've heard somewhere that our uh, partners, honestly, like it's so heavy, like I need some air to breathe. So our partners are the best reflections of what we have to work on. Not to say that there is something wrong with us and we have to work on something. It's merely about evolving and better knowing ourselves, and not from the idea that something needs healing, like something is broken. No, it's from the idea of like what we can um, start within ourselves that will better like our quality of our experience, our quality of our relationships, the quality of love we give and receive, and so on. Because I've heard again, like this, I guess, has to be said that the quality of love we can receive is the quality of love that we can give. So it feels to me like this pile has to know. Okay, that would be a personal example. I don't like doing that, but I guess for this pile I'll do it. So, I've had triggers, and I still have them. Like, what am I bragging about? I've had triggers with people, and I noticed that my capacity to love them is greatly diminished, if not like uh, zero, basically. So, the quality I receive from that relationship is greatly going to be like impacted by my triggering situations with that person. My compassion is going to be impacted, my kindness towards this person is going to be impacted, and I'm doing my best so to be as present as possible with the feelings and the sensations associated with these, so that I can feel everything and basically allow myself to feel something else. Not in the idea that I want to change the emotion, but I allow myself to feel compassion. I try to cultivate that with this expansion of my perception, understanding how they hurt as well, and how they unwillingly or with their overall level of awareness and perception, yes, it happened and it is all right to feel this way, I tell myself. So uh, I do not force this process, but that's the lesson for me. It was about the quality of love. So the quality I can, like, the receiving can be, but yeah, even like giving, if I'm triggered, I will not be able to love that person. They brought something from my past, so that's what's happening. So I guess being true about that, and it's interesting nonetheless. So you've got the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So that's a very curious representation because we got a fox and a cat on top of it. And this deck is so confusing, like I will not lie. But this could be about your personal relationships, and it feels to me like for some, you've had either past or present partner, whatever the case may be for you, where we see this fox wearing like a muzzle. I guess that's what you call it, like this thing that closes the mouth shut, and you could be represented by this cat. So it feels to me like this is a very funny example of someone riding someone's ego or keeping them within restraints, knowing of course that the fox is a very smart and cunning animal. So if you are not with that person, or if you are, that means you could have some psychological advantage over this person in such a way that you dominate the situation. So despite the cat being like smaller in size in this representation, and this fox, it feels to me like originally, with the official outlook on your situation, it should have been flipped, meaning that this person should have had somehow like an advantage over you. But I don't know why. Like, this feels to me like this could be societal or something. But for some reason, unofficially, the reality of what's actually happening is flipped, and you've got the advantage. Could be smarter than that person, and not with the idea of making people stupid, but it's the awareness thing, where you could be more aware, and thus, because of that, you could have seen things coming. So know that you will gain respect for that as well, not only from that person but from people in general, because it feels to me like the reward, or what you can look forward to, is a better quality of respect and a deeper quality of relationships with people. Yeah, that was a tough one. But it had to be. It had to be. Seven of Wands, King of Swords. Don't be don't make this idea of loneliness if you are alone, or if you are in a relationship and you're feeling alone. Don't make it mean that you're going to be alone forever. It feels to me like this pile doesn't have to know some details about their future, but simply because they have to feel like the stuff. Or that you will be going through loneliness, but it will be more so a feeling than the reality, meaning that you might be having to go through things and it will be necessary, but that doesn't mean that you are going to end up like this and forever like suffering this loneliness. So there is a great feeling of, as I said, like solitary, like hermit situation type of energy that's coming to the reading, with the idea of like, I'm not gonna be understood, like I'm not gonna be seen, like I'm not gonna be interacted with at the level that I deserve. And it will take time, but eventually it will pan out. Like, I feel like this is going to be more so a setup than the reality of what's actually happening. Seven of Wands, King of Swords. This could be a phase right now in your life that is not so comfortable, let's say, not so pleasant, but it is required. Like, I cannot say that more. Like, the cross. The cross is a very spiritual, like, know that with the cross, with the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords, like, I'm so sorry for this pile, got you some very heavy cards, but you have to know that they will pan out, they will be rewarded. And it happened to me like recently as well. I'll give you my experience. I've had some not so comfortable experiences, but still there was an element of, I just shut up. I'll tell you what I did, not saying you should do the same. I just shut up and thought to myself, okay, I will digest this. Okay, I will try to be with myself. I'll try to not dramatize and not seek attention. I'll try to give it myself. 2 days passed. I was still having flashbacks, 2, 3 days, I guess, and I've had something pleasant happening, and it was so spontaneous. Like, for this pile as well, releasing control, accepting your pains, knowing that it is all right and 100% valid and normal to feel sad, heartbroken, to feel pain. But no, this is not going to be the overall experience of what you came in here for. This is not your life. This is not the life that you're going to live. And this is not a drama of source where, you know, you are meant to go through like spikes and the whole hell, you know. No, it's not about that. I feel like harnessing the wisdom from what has already happened and transforming pain in beauty and complexity and depth of you, of your character, of your soul, and advancing and grabbing people that are doing the same, like grabbing them by their hand and saying, you know, we've got this, like meet me at my house, I'll pour you some wine, because, you know, we've had some bad days, you know, but we can go through this together. Like, it feels to me like that way. um don't be scared, don't be ashamed, don't be sad that you're not going through the same happiness of like everyone else. Am I speaking to myself? Because that's the most relevant message I can give myself. But the classical out there thing of happiness that people would tie up to the idea of like what you should do in life, if you're comparing yourself to that or thinking that I should be doing the same thing and I will consider myself to be happy, and I'm laughing at myself because that's so like nonsense, but yeah, it happens. Like I get caught up in this and I'm no exception to the rule, and I love it actually. So that was like, I wonder if this reading is like a open window for you to know what's happening with me, or it's actually that I'm reading cards for you, because I wanted this to be about you, not about myself, like what am I even doing. But yeah, that was like what you should be looking forward to. Know that you're safe, know that the track of your progression is for you, and like no chaos is meant to steer you away from this pursuit of like evolving, being a more conscious version of yourself and participating in life to a better degree, to a more beautiful extent. It's like this untapped energy, like suffering being represented by the untapped energy, you rising from the ashes and accessing the knowledge, the power, the energy that this suffering has sparked within you, and using it for rebettering your circumstances and the world and your relationships overall. So I would believe truly that the people who will come in contact with you, they will better like appreciate that. They will better like value you. Yeah, that's what I had for this pile. That was long. Like, what am I even doing? Like, 26 minutes. Okay, at least it was fun. But that was pile number one. I really hope you enjoyed. I think this is by far the most emotional, deep thing I ever done to a pile. But I will do it more often in the future when I can, and I'll try to do the same with the rest of the piles. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all. And stay safe. I really hope to see you in my future videos. Bye. Hello, pile number two. Your stone is pink or purple tourmaline. Gosh, I get so caught up in these like crystal names that at times I'm thinking like, should I even be using them? I think I better use like four regular stones that I know for sure, but like I want to diversify things as well. Yeah, that's not about this pile. Let's focus on the reading. Okay, what you can look forward to. So I'll be translating what is written in here. So the message says that revenge doesn't give results, because what you give, that is what you receive, and this has to end somewhere. Okay. This is not going to be a long discussion of why you shouldn't feel this way, but I think what this card tries to say is not about revenge at all. It feels to me like this could be the case of you being stuck on things and you having or needing to have an attitude or a willingness to find ways to release pent up energy, emotion. I think I'm doing that. I'm saying that in all the piles, but I guess that's what I like saying and doing. But there is lots of things or hyperfixations in this reading for this pile, meaning that there are lots of chapters in your life you could be or you needing to review, needing to process, needing to address, needing to acknowledge. So I feel like this pile would most likely resonate with the idea of giving yourself the permission to feel or validating yourself in the idea of what I feel is all right and what I feel is completely normal, and allowing yourself and giving yourself the space to digest or to look at your emotions and say, I'll be with myself, I will accept these feelings, or not beating yourself up or not being concentrated on the idea of I should be like this perfect person to feel a certain thing and not the other one. Like, see how this resonates for you, but there is no metric system of perfection that you should be placing yourselves on. There is no idea of perfection or where you should or shouldn't be in the lens or from the eyes of the universe. What I sense in here is not you needing, like, there is no need. There is only an ease or an easier or simpler approach to your life, meaning that the core value is within the experience. That means it's not about the outcome of how you should be or shouldn't be feeling. It's about you experiencing the now and treating it like as it is, as it fundamentally is, like not wishing it to be different. So this card, talking about vengeance or revenge or wanting to snap back, it could on one hand mean that you have lots of stuff to think, and to think it's not the word, to feel, I guess I would replace it with, and accepting yourself, accepting that you can express in different ways, in different situations, and allowing yourself the break, allowing yourself the vacation. And this doesn't have to be a vacation, this can be an open window of opportunity where, for example, you work and all of a sudden you just observe yourself and you just like a sensation associated with an emotion, for example, comes up, or a feeling. Yeah. You just be with it, you just observe, accept, and love the feeling. Why love? Because why you love the feeling? Because it's yours. And there is no, on earth, like on this earth, there is no more like beautiful expression of you than you. Like, you are unique, you are one of a kind. And this expression is like a work of art that cannot be replicated. Not like, I feel like some are not giving enough credit for themselves, like not appreciating themselves or expecting other people to give them that. Okay, what can you look forward to? Four of Swords caught my eye, and I want to say this could be rest. this could be recuperation, this could be contemplation, this could as well be about the opening the window of opportunity for you to just observe yourself. That means if your work, or if like your work situation, or let's say you're doing something as like doing the dishes, or I don't know, a mechanical task, because I have no idea what you're doing. Just allowing yourself the leisure to not like distract, but to be there, accept what's happening, and love yourself in that. Okay, uh, because we've got the stork card, I feel like there is going to be a situation in here with family. And because the chariot has lots of like people represented in here, I want to say that the happiness or the fulfillment, if you've got a family, if it's going to be about that, it's gonna come from there. Like you will have like this idea of, first of all, let's let's try zooming out. Yeah. So the silver lining, though, what you can look forward to. It's seemingly, or it seems like in life you could invest in things indirectly, or that you're not even thinking about investment. And I don't like to be like investment thinking, but for example, you love your family, you love your kids, you invest energy into them, and you could be right now in this case, in this place where it feels like life is uh, taking energy out of you, or these situations like are taking energy out of you. And it's not about like you not wanting to give love to your family. It's like a duty, or it's like a perceived self made or self created responsibility. And right now in life it could feel like, or it could seem as though you are only giving, or the situations like pan out in such a way that you don't see the end where you are being recognized. But with a bouquet card, that gratification is not going to come right now, but still it's going to come. And with the Queen of Wands, I feel like you'll have a lot of free time, and you know, it will be about this situation where you have invested enough already, and the results of this investment is going to be multiplied tenfold, not only by your investment, like your energy being extended out there, but from your loved ones as well. So know that people you have helped and are constantly helping have never forgotten about you. And with this Queen of Wands, there will be a time where you're going to receive this energy back, or when you will need it, or when you will feel like you can't provide for yourself. It feels to me like you're going to receive that from places, like expecting it from places, and it will happen, but as well like not expecting it from different places and things that you like, sources of like fulfilling your needs in ways in which you never thought it was even possible, you know. So that could be the case for you. I see luxury in here with this Queen of Wands, and with this Queen of Pentacles as well. Like you could be a working, like a working parent, you know. Queen of Pentacles in here, and this representation perfectly describes your situation, because we've got in here with this Queen of Pentacles no fruit. There is only like leaves and stuff. And this could be the case of, you know, I'm tired, I'm a little bit exhausted, and I don't know what to look out for because the blank card is here. So it could be the case that I am tired, like this pile needs rest, this pile needs a lot of like, I need some free time, please. Some situations in life might be calling you to be more active, like physically, with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a spike of energy type of card where, you know, you have to actively participate in things. It's more so on impulse, meaning that you don't have even time to think, you know. But this is all like the active phase of the construction of your life, so to speak. So what does that mean for you specifically? I feel like I'll bring that up like as an example. Falling in love with a journey and not expecting the results to be right away present, knowing that you invest, because I know this pile works a lot. Like the cards say that with a bouquet card, I don't even think that you have a lot of free time in general. It feels to me like this situation of um, with this family thing with the store card, this could be the case of someone who, while they might be having the free time, either they're cleaning, cooking, or taking care of the family in such a way that it leaves little to no open window of opportunity for time for themselves. So with the Four of Swords, know that you'll get the rest for sure. Like, I think this could be pretty ugly from the universe to not give you that. And I think this card has presented itself to be here for a reason. So what example I wanted to bring up is the idea of a garden, because that's the most appropriate example I can come up with. When you plan out to first take care of or create a garden, you can find a spot in nature where you want to define the limits. And the first phases of taking care of that like idea happening or taking place in the first place could be about you like unrooting lots of things, taking care of the terrain, planting the seeds. First of all, like taking care that the soil is all right, and then planting the seeds, taking care of the flowers. And I think that you are in this phase of active, like things just have to be like done. I have to do this. I have to make it happen, because if I'm not doing it, then who is gonna do it? So, and then there is a distinct phase where you have done everything that's possible from your side, and then you let go. And that let go is the part where you have planted the seeds, you're just taking care of them and waiting for them to sprout. And, the level of inclusion or your attention or your intervention in this is much less demanding. So it feels to me like right now in your life you could be very much stressed out or overworking, workaholism type of thing could be the case as well. Controlling the situation as well, or finding like I'm not gonna lie, with the Hierophant in reverse it came to me like as a desperacy as well. Afraid of failure, not wanting things to go south, and holding things like things cracking at seams. It could be as well the case, or needing desperately rest, but I'm so like into this that I don't have time for that. The Hierophant reversed. So as I said, the need to control everything to make sure everything is fine. Ten of Swords, like I don't know what's the word in English, but I know from another language that it's a word where you're so caught up in activities and stuff that this level of anxiety is not even giving you the free energy and time to be with yourself and to observe yourself. With the High Priestess in reverse, most likely you're not connected with your intuition. But it feels to me like if you were to connect to your intuition, everything would make sense. Or if you just, with this High Priestess in reverse, give yourself the silence. I don't know. It feels to me like from the things I have described, it's hard to give free time or silence to this pile. But I think if you really want it, then I guess you should be manifesting it. But Nine of Cups in reverse. I think there are lots of situations that now require you to be present in them and not think about the outcomes. But yeah, Seven of Swords. So the wish fulfillment about this pile is it has an end. What you can look forward to is these things have an end, and they might not seem like they have an end with the Ten of Swords reversed and the Nine of Cups. Or you could have felt like in life your needs, your wishes were neglected. And why shouldn't it be different, But they will end. I love that, generally we consider the death card, the coffin card, the endings, transformations cards to be very traumatic in representation. But let us not forget that if we have a difficult situation in a tarot spread and we have the death card, that means it's changing. So that means it's changing for the better, it's transforming into something else. And in something else, which of course is better because we wouldn't have mentioned the death card in the first place, So Seven of Swords has in here written hope and reflection. Yeah. I think there will be phases, like distinct phases, and it will be like in a very non-predictable manner where things will end in a very like strange way. So it will come like a tumbling, chaotic change. So it could be a very abrupt change in activity. Like it reminds me of that period of time where I think I was like at school and there was such a blizzard and we were so productive in the idea of like working hard and whatever. But when the blizzard came and it was so powerful that it basically took out the cables and they were all over the place, all of that like drastic activity all of a sudden just like ceased to exist. And I was so happy, like I remember that, like I was, and this could be the case as well for you, like something abruptly happening that will require you to just stop and yeah, I don't know what to do, let's rest. Yeah, that's gonna be about this pile. So this could be a very unexpected vacation situation, or you'll be given the breaks, you'll be given the vacations where it will feel like the stress is unsurmountable or it's just too much for me. So I think the greatest thing in here is like delayed gratification for this pile, like believe it or not, but that's what I'm seeing. And I think there will be a level of material or like, yeah, this is material satisfaction where, for example, you have reached a level and now you are allowing yourself to either work from pleasure or from passion, uh, because prior to that you have been investing in the idea of working hard or working to the degree where you just had to set out the foundations. And yeah, basically like I had no time to myself, and it's like now we're giving you the time to yourself. If you were feeling in life like you needed to, or you've lost track with something, for example, you've had a hobby or you've had like a favorite activity that you engaged with, but right now the circumstances presented or prevented you like from doing that, it will come back. Um, it will come back, but like not, it's not a timing thing. It's gonna be unexpected. And peace. Like for this pile, I feel peace will be the case with this Queen of Wands. Like everything is just where it needs to be, and like personal, and I'm happy no matter what. It could be the case. It could be the experiences that you went through that made you feel this way, or this could be a phase in your life. Either it's No, I don't think it's happening right now. I think this is about the future. Still, phase in your life where, no matter what's happening, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy for the experience. I'm grateful for what has happened so far, no matter what's the comfort level that I'm currently experiencing. And it's not gonna be a negative or a weak comfort level. No, quite the opposite. I believe it is going to be a proud of my work type of thing, or it's gonna be like with the family situation, you sitting at a table and people just knowing, like not even saying it, just looking at you and knowing that you have played a big role into their life. Or it's gonna be that a lot of people are going to look back and really admire you and admire your level of like determination and involvement and activity in the idea of helping your loved ones. So yeah, one thing, and not like one more thing with the Nine of Cups. If you are now experiencing a lack of something, or you have a wish that hasn't been fulfilled, that is going to be a very strange situation where your loved ones are going to make it happen. Yeah, that's what I feel. Nine of Cups, right now I don't have the resource, or I don't have the circumstances where I want this to manifest. The energy you gave to people is going to come back and make it materialize. Yeah. I see a lots of praise, I see lots of, and I see a lot of like working but not being careful or not being attentive towards oneself. And yeah, I guess that's what you should be concentrating upon. But overall, I think you are headed in the good direction, except the, as I said, self-neglect part where, you give too much, you give to such an extent where you feel depleted or burnt out. But yeah, I feel like people are going to regard you as being very like family oriented, and or this person is truly like guarding and defending their family, like in old age or whatever that means for you, like in advanced age, whatever the case may be. This is for all people. This is not for a certain like circle of people, but in time you'll have respect and recognition and gratitude and love from the people you loved and from the people you gave to. Yeah, that's the cherry. And you can expect like this pile gives me the energy of a retired person who is highly regarded, respected, supported, loved, and remembered for their work. That's a very lucky circumstance to be in. Yeah, almost like enviable. But yeah, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. That was something like I would expect to have people who are workaholics in this pile and people who give a lot. This is quite interesting. So that was something. Mm, yeah, do what feels right, even if it means working. So if the message I was telling you that you shouldn't be maybe working as much, but you feel like doing it, and it's coming from a passionate mindset, then definitely continue on doing what you have been already. And yeah, do whatever your heart says. Just care to be attentive towards yourself, your needs, your immediate, like, what I have to do for myself to feel like moving again. Yeah, that was all. Like, comment, subscribe. I really hope to see you in the future as well. Bye. Okay, pile number 3 with the black tourmaline stone. Let's see what you can look forward to. Okay, I will translate to you the center of the reading, like the central card. It says, I'm in a eternal um, journey towards infinity or towards eternity. Okay. Um, what I got from this pile as what you can look forward to, especially with the Empress being upright, reversed, it's different in here really, but it felt to me like this pile is going to carry an atmosphere of happiness, nurturing, um, really like positive energy wherever they go, with whoever they are, because the Empress is more about not the places that you go to, but more so the presence that you emit and that you give. And it feels to me like the gift or the what you can look forward to is not going to come necessarily as an external circumstance. I feel like more so people will feel gratitude towards you, and this will, without any manipulation or intention, is going to come back to you like tenfold. The idea of the energy that you give towards people. Now, hear me out. I don't feel like this pile will have to be focused around the circumstances, the events, or what does the future hold in regards to like specifically what is going on with like what positive thing can I expect. No, the positive thing that you can expect is already happening, and more so for this pile, it's you actually. And it's really paradoxical because usually when we do readings, it's more focused on like what will happen to you, what you will expect to come into your life, something like this. And for this pile, it's a very weird situation where I don't feel like saying chase something. Like, don't chase something, because with the Empress energy, it feels to me like you are going to manifest it and it will come to you, and it will come to you in such a way where you naturally aspired to it without you, as I said, manipulating the circumstances around you. So it feels to me like with the ring card, you are a very worthy person to have by, or this could be the case of the energy that people are saying, like what are people saying about you, and there is an immense like gratitude, recognition, um, thankfulness that is coming towards the person who's watching, and as a result that energy tends to like transform itself in different ways, meaning that at some point people might be saying it, vocalizing it. Some people might be giving you gifts, some people might be respectful, some people might be truthful. This energy is being reflected back at you in very different ways. And yeah, for some reason, the Empress can be flipped in here, so that can mean to me that you might experience like lows in life. That's natural to everyone, of course, but in this case, this Empress reversed low type of thing is going to be more specific towards like, I'm feeling low, and I doubt myself. I doubt my ability to bring happiness to myself and to people around me. And I would say be very careful with your own energy, because there is a strong accent and impact that you create as a result of like how you feel. And for this pile, there could be cases where this is like strange, but you will receive love from where you do not expect it to come. Two of Cups. So this is not like that type of expected scenario where you meet the Prince Charming, for example. This could be seemingly a very mysterious like energy of love that is going to be translated, sifted through different circumstances, meaning that you are going to feel loved, but not in the most expected traditional sense. That means to me um, your life scenario can look like in very unpredictable ways, and your happiness as well can take on that form. So this could be seemingly random circumstances happening to you, bringing you a sense of fulfillment and happiness. And if people were to really observe, they would say like, "Oh, this is simple. This is like not a very like exciting thing to look out for." But yeah, it's like these like lucky circumstances. It could be the case, like as I said, someone complimenting you out of the blue, or someone out of nowhere saying that they are really grateful to you for you, you know. For some reason there is like a little bit of digging in here with the full in reverse, meaning that the way you give and the quality of your giving can be at times way superior to what you receive. And I feel like this is tied to childhood trauma of not being like reciprocated, or something along the lines of you give, but as a result you don't quite receive, or the balance of give and receive is not being equally established, where you can love someone deeply and that person can be a little bit parasitic, or they can take advantage of that, like as bad as it sounds to me, where this person who's watching could feel depleted in general in life, and at times really lonely. And you know, there is a strong sense of sadness that's seeping through as well, the reading, saying that, you know, we are really sad that the way that they love is rarely found to be reciprocated. Or Three of Pentacles, like Cooperation card. In this representation, a person who's watering the plants, you could be very long-term oriented. You could be very deeply oriented towards the relationships where you value the quality, you value the authenticity and the honesty in the relationship. And it feels to me like that type of person, they are really rare. And when they invite someone in their life and they say like, you know, you are worthy to be into my life and I'm going to give to you, this feels to me like the discernment has to be really good, and the person who will receive that should have as well a very high level of integrity to not profit. Like, you are a gift. I want to say that because the Empress is holding like a pomegranate. Like, this is abundance. This is abundance at its best. Like, the ring card. I want to say that if and when you find a lovely, worthy choice for you, if you are single, this person better be grateful. This person better value you, because it feels to me like this is not like the qualities I have described and the set of the virtues I have described in here as like coming from the energy of the reading from you. These things should be really valued and treasured. It feels to me like it's that way. And I would say, even so, like with the moon in reverse, the devil, you are advanced. Like, for some reason, I don't like as well, like hierarchy, but this is not about hierarchy. This is about the mobility in your consciousness of sorts, where you can see stuff. You can be really perceptive. If not perceptive, then your gut feeling is really good in telling you what to look out for, or you can be very experienced. Um, the devil in reverse tells me that you can be very, like, I see manipulation coming from miles, or I can observe things in such a way that, you know, I don't need that person to speak. I can already understand what's happening and whether I really need to um, interact with them, or keep them at a distance, or keep them close, you know. Um, I see lots of warnings in here. Like, I will not lie, I see lots of warnings in regards to interpersonal relationships, and I know this is what you should be looking out for, looking forward to. Like, but this is a warning. Don't put all your 100% commitment in whatever it is that you pursue on one-on-one relationships, and care to really establish a level of let me know you better, let me study you, let me find ways in which I can examine your reactions. Like, as people said, like I've heard this is very wise, observe and look out for their reaction to pets, to children, to how they treat strangers, or even so, like how they argue, because you cannot guarantee that you will not argue with that person and they will not consider you at one point a stranger. And the way in which they will treat the strangers could potentially hint to you the way in which they could potentially treat you. And you can see the person's like set of moral values when you see them interact with the world. This is pretty self-explanatory, I guess, because you see them like interact with children, pets, even flowers, even living things, whatever it is, everything will be hinting at you what kind of person is that, and what kind of energy and what kind of like input do they give. I'd be really careful and establishing foundations where I should basically say this is safe. Like, establishing foundations and investing in things in different ways. This could be money, this could be energy, this could be emotion. Things that are foundational, that are or are possessing a quality of like durability. I'm saying to not give to people that are not worthy, and really assess for yourself whether you need to keep people at a distance, like because of that intensity of like the giving, the abundance that you give. um, it feels to me like you should be really careful with whom you are sharing that, because if you are sharing that with an endless like void of type of person, that energy will go and you will not see it being mirrored or reflected back at you. And the ideal case would be that. But when you don't have this person, I would say like give that energy to yourself and don't expect someone to be there for you. So what you can look forward to, I feel like for this pilot, would be your presence is the gift and you are the gift. And wherever you go, know that people are deeply and um, are touched by your presence, are touched, and you leave a mark, a positive mark. This is an unfolding journey with a central card, and I want to say don't be fixated upon an specific milestone or achievement or goal. Know that the journey itself is something that is truly worth the shot, you know? It feels to me like you are in for the experience and not necessarily the goal of what you can get, you know? And I see in here the Wheel of Fortune, and it's in reverse. It will feel, or it already maybe feels this way, where you are in lows, that the universe or the tides of life are not supporting you. This is again, I want to say, not necessarily true. I feel like more so this is about your perception of things, and I'm totally saying that this is fine because I experienced the same exact thing where, you know, it might be feeling like the universe like is against you, or specifically precisely the desires that you want to get or fulfill are being consciously like either postponed or ignored. This is not necessarily the case. In this pile, I feel like this is more so a feeling, or again, something that is being mirrored from your childhood. So if you have been having experiences with your parents where, for example, you felt like their will and your will was completely different, and they were unwillingly even like doing stuff against like your preference or your will, this could very much be a projection of sorts where you, I forgot in psychology how that means, what it means, but as a term, but it's when you project your experience upon God or universe. For example, you've had an authority figure and you have understood from your experience of having an authority figure what it means to be um, in this place, and you could be projecting that experience upon God and universe. And in this case it could be a very emotional perception of, you know, everything seems against me. And temperance in reverse, it feels to me as well, lots of things and lots of preferences you'd most likely want to change in your favor, but something big, or as though something immense is trying to prevent that, or as though everything seems against you. So I would like to say that this has nothing to do with you, merely because the energy I have just described and the ring card plus the Empress is not only opposites, but in intensity, your core essence is much more powerful than the experience of lack, the experience itself of lack. And it feels to me like this is a temporary thing. Or this can as well be the case where there is an divine intelligence that is guiding you, but it's not necessarily guiding you as you thought it should. Or yeah, there is something along the lines of you want something, but necessarily something that is necessary happens, but your wants are somehow overlooked. Yeah, so you have this energy, and the tree card is in reverse. So this is more a reading that is going to outline the silver lining, as I said in the introduction of the reading. Um, there is a lot of struggle, there is a lot of pain, there is a lot of baggage. Yeah, that's exactly what I feel. There is a lot of giving as well from your side, and seemingly it feels like the world is against you, or you're not taking back, or you're not receiving what you want, which is pretty strange, to be honest. I would as well examine and see whether you haven't transformed yourself again from childhood in that person to constantly boost and help your parents. So I would see if that is something maybe that resonates with you. Um, I'm saying because I'm talking maybe from experience, because I have experienced something similar where you maybe try to pacify, or maybe you try to be responsible, be useful, you know. And this is going to be in regards to your family, so that's on your side to sort out. But there is loneliness, and in this case, um, learning to give yourself is going to be the answer. Yeah, it feels to me like with a Fool in reverse, learning to give yourself first and not having expectations of what people and when people are going to give back to you. And it feels to me like the more happier you are, the point where you are the most happiest person. That means, for example, if you really like, for example, let's say you like drawing, yeah, or painting, whatever. When you are truly happy and you do that, and you don't expect someone to give you the validation because you're so into the process. And I'm referring to painting, but you can have your own hobby or activity. when you will do that out of such a place of enjoyment, satisfaction, and, motivation, there will be a point where you will forget what else like in this world exists. Like, it will be a flow moment, and in this flow moment you will be having like enough from the experience already. And when the feedback, when the appreciation is going to come from the exterior world, this will be like a bonus, but you will say, I really appreciate it, but the experience itself matters more than the reward that I am receiving. So I get this feeling when I'm reading cards. That means I can access this flow of energy when I can channel these messages. But for you, as I said, this could be something different. And I would avoid specifically action circumstances that make you create and manufacture energy that is going to be that link from you to another person in order for you to get them on your side. I want you to have this mechanics or mechanic actually, or pattern where you are centered towards yourself, but because you're centered passionately about, like, towards you, automatically that like multiplies your abundance, and then the world profits from this as well. And when I say that, I do not mean an egotistical approach to, take advantage and go focus on yourself. No, what I say that when a painter who enjoys painting and this is his life's purpose, continues on pursuing what they truly find amazement in, they give the world the same amazement because they become like a professional in that domain. Or, like, say, a doctor, for example, who becomes really professional in what they do. When they pursue things passionately, not only they feel fulfilled, but even more so they help the world. So we have this situation of, let them pursue what makes them happy because that energy emanates. That's exactly what I felt. And with the Empress as well, message I told you already, this is very important. The level of your happiness, the level of your peace, and how stress-free you are, this is going to be the energy that you give to other people. And ask yourself, are you really authentically happy with what you're doing? And do you truly think that people are not going to notice that you are authentically happy or not? Because people are not as insensitive, and they can sense and see and feel very much so, even at times better than you, whether you are authentically fulfilled or not. And when we have this pattern where you are depleted and tired, for example, and you give in that state to people where you were better off resting, then it is truly something strange happening where, even the example that you give, like, don't care for yourself, care for others, and you are depleted, and people can repeat that. Like, for example, if you have children or loved ones, they could replicate that. Like, would you really like to set that example, or would you like your example to be centered around the idea of self-love and giving to the world from that self-loving paradigm? So I think if you are able to listen and adhere to not even my idea, the idea of self-love and prioritizing your happiness first, I think the capacity in which you will be giving to the world is going to be enhanced, and your experience will benefit from it as well. So, Ace of Cups at the end of the reading, I want to say the happiness you expect, the happiness you can want to experience out there, it is readily accessible to you. It is accessible to you to create a spring. Yeah, that's a spring. I always forget that word. It's a source for you, and when you will discover it inside of you, when you will discover to be fulfilled and happy within, you will notice that love comes from the exterior world, but you will not necessarily crave it. So it will be a happy coincidence, let's say. It will be a happy circumstance where you will achieve it, but then you will be saying, yeah, I didn't die out of hunger because I didn't have it like given from the exterior, because you have to make a happiness fountain within yourself. And it's not even like you have to make it, you have to unlock it because it's already there. And what waits for you is to actualize your potential to and your mobility towards accessing it. Like, how can I be more happy? How can I be more self-loving today? And how can I prioritize my happiness more? And how do I go about doing that? And if you are going to set the intentions like this, I believe there will be a shift in that regard, and you'll feel much better afterwards. Even like with this stone, I feel like there is lots of pain, suffering, sadness that needs to be acknowledged and seen by you and understood. Yeah, that's what I felt for this reading. So I really hope you enjoyed it. That's all, I guess. Like, a lot of messages came through. What you can look forward to. This is more so it all lies into your hands. And it's a very positive thing simply because what you seek is already there and what you chase is already within and inside of you. So, yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and I really hope to see you in the future. Take care. Okay, we're moving on to the pile number 4, Pyrite. This central card says, I am offering myself unconditional love. I offer myself unconditional love. What can you look forward to in this context? Okay, so the center of the reading is usually reflecting the overall energy of either the person, the situation, or what you can look forward to. It feels to me like for this pile, you will discover a dimension of self-love, because the card talks about unconditional love. This could be a free or open window of opportunity. This could be a day where you focus on yourself. This could be as well discovering new passions and new things of interests. This could as well be art. Some of you who are like having artistic inclinations, this card is urging you and saying that you should be doing something with that, and basically give yourself the permission to create. And to create, if you're already an artist, and to create in more unconventional ways that will give you happiness, that will give you a sense of fulfillment and enjoyment throughout the process of this creation. Okay, so I guess we will start with a moon card flipped. What you can look forward to if you have been experiencing confusion as well as not knowing what to do or where to go. Eight of Swords is as well reversed right next to it, and it feels to me like there were some conflicting situations or anxieties or powerlessness surrounding you, as well with the Hanged Man. Like these three cards, Hanged Man is like prolonged suffering, prolonged things. And with the moon flipped, I think you will receive an insight, or you will receive some sort of liberation from your pains as a result of this clarity that's going to come to the table. I think for this pile, it's going to be a more so inward journey of like discovering what is actually taking away my energy and where do I give my attention that it is basically depleting me. Seven of Cups up reversed, I want to say, if you felt as well scattered, what you can look forward to, it's an energy of like, I know what I should be doing, focus as well. I want to say, first of all, these are very heavy cards. I cannot lie, because first of all, this hints to me that your past or your immediate past could have been a little, if a lot, like for some, intense and negatively intense, because Eight of Swords in here with the Moon, Hanged Man, Five of Swords, Empress reversed, and the dog. This could hint to me that you were in a not so very great spot, like psychologically. The dog card can indicate a separation from a person. This could be a friend. You're better off without them. I want to say this could have been a close person, or it seemed like they were a close person, but it could be the case, or it feels to me like this person was in your account, or you treated, or you had an idea of them being close, but there was distance actually. And this could be as well a stagnant situation. That means you could have been loyal to something, to a cause, to a friend. The dog is always talking about loyalty and proximity. Like for me in this context, letting go. Um, this could be arguing. This could be as well quarreling. This could be all, like, I'm talking from like immediate past. You will soon realize the possibility of letting go, and this will feel liberating. Like, I feel like you might have been tied to a cause, like, or even relationships can be at times perceived as cause, you know. um, I have this link with a person, and I consider my rightful cause to stay in contact or to communicate to them, you know. And this cause has been so draining that it feels to me like you distinctly are honorably committed to it, to the degree that it is in your detriment. And with the Seven of Cups, I feel like there will be an opening where you will be releasing responsibility where it is not um, reciprocated, invited, needed, as well as an overall like psychological break from problems and from issues that are not necessarily needed to be like addressed right now. With the I'm offering unconditional love towards myself, I want to say that if you were that person to reach out, to entertain, and to keep relationships, give your energy outside, you are soon to realize that you're happy and content on your own, and you don't have to place this like importance on exterior factors. I feel like this pile is as well very much hear me out. This pile strikes me as regarded as being very controversial for some reason, though in your head things could be very much clear and there is no need to make space for misinterpretations. People are watching you. I want to say, I don't know, it feels to me like this case of important person type of attention, because you've got the owls. Owls, it's like spies. And this pile strikes me as giving off quiet but steady respect. Also, you strike me as being very resistant and powerful. King of Wands reversed. I think there is a strong element of what you can look forward to is like respect and connections as well. Like this pile gives me a sense of, you know, there is 10 of Pentacles in here, which is in reverse, and this leaf Constantly I forget how it's called, but it's the good luck leaf, which is in reverse. So it feels to me like you might have been in very dramatic circumstances, but in the end, no matter how you are traversing through them, eventually you will reach a point where you will not lack things, materially speaking. There is intimidation in this reading. I will not lie. King of Swords, King of Wands, actually, this could be that you're a fire sign, but doesn't have to be. There might be a case where you might have scared people. You scare your enemies. You could be the person to address or to speak loudly, to speak your mind truly as it is. This could come from a very emotional space, meaning that you mean well. Yeah, for some reason, like Empress flipped. Like, no matter how much I try, but this is like strongly suggesting that it feels to me, Death card, as if you've been through a sort of war. Like, not gonna lie, this is very heavy. This is a very heavy pile. Not necessarily in a bad way heavy, but lots of compassion for this pile, because while other people might have discovered a sense of compassion, love, and kindness in their families from their birth, and you would think that this is a birthright, it feels to me like this pile will have to experience it, but in a flipped way. Like lots of pain, and then I experience what love is through the opposite lens. This is heavy stuff. Like, I'll not lie, this feels to me like a warrior person going through life, not giving up, sticking with their vision, with their desires, and with their idea of what has to be done and what is right. No matter if I am supported or not, no matter if people support me or not, or no matter if the circumstances support me or not. This is very much determinate energies. Lots of people are watching you. I want to say that. Nine of Swords. This is a very uptight person who's watching, and I would not be surprised if you are wearing a mask, or if you're wearing a sort of facade where you enforce the idea of you are a still person. So if you're female, you could be enforcing willingly, unwillingly, an idea of like, I'm a still lady. That's what they feel. And this doesn't come necessarily like, hear me out, this is going to be a long explanation. I feel like this is not coming from an authentic place. What means it's not coming from an authentic place? It means that this level of power that you want to embody and give off to the world, this is not necessarily the reality, the full reality of what's happening inside of you. And it comes as a reaction to some experiences. Like, this is not authentically like, I want to be this because I'm happy, but because of some like negative experience that I want to like avoid, or something like this, or I want to inspire and give off confidence, but not out of a positive space, but from like a negative. Like, I don't want to I don't want to be taken advantage of, and therefore, like, I will intimidate the hell out of these people. This feels very interesting, because okay, I wasn't expecting I'm gonna do a psychoanalysis in the fourth pile. This is a contradiction. You can expect to want nurturing, kindness, and love, but when you present yourself to be made out of steel, people think that you do not need it and will kind of keep away. I feel like the awareness and the insight that is kickstarting to go there and be seen by you, it's happening like from your immediate like present. I think this is a recent realization. Or hear me out, I'm not saying as well, like I forgot to say that, I'm not saying as well that you're weak, or I'm not saying that you're not powerful. What I do see in here is you are powerful and you want to be treated kindly. You are powerful and you deserve to be sweet at times, this type of thing. And you are powerful, you are intimidating, but and and you are vulnerable at the same time. Yes, you might have nerves out of steel, but you'd like to be hugged as well. You'd like to be squishy as other people are, as weak people are perceived as being so, at least by you. This gives me so much like a person, like, first of all, Queen and King of Swords, because these people, let's say, they are maybe being in competition with the fire, ones like King and Queen, but the level of intimidation maybe, or fear, or whatever, not like for this pile, I don't know what you're looking for. Like, if this resonates so far, I don't know what are you aiming at, because the more you do that, the more respect you might get, but at the same time there will be like a price to pay. And this can reflect itself as being like mirrored and reflected in different ways, meaning that, is it worth it to be alone but invulnerable? That's up to you to decide. Not saying what is right and wrong, but there is a sense of life could have been, even right now, more so simplified than as it is, because of the decision to keep people off or to keep them at a distance. Not saying that this is wrong again, but the cards indicate a desire or a need to reevaluate. And this is up, as I said, up to you to change if you want. If not, then that's completely fine. But because the image is there, the intimidation, the control, or the idea of respect is there. You have lots of people, by the way, who respect you, who see you as very powerful and well-intended at the same time. Yeah, but this is like a lot to pay, I think. Gosh, I forgot that this is like, I don't forget, like, I know this is what you should be looking forward to, but this is coming such like strong energy of reevaluate, 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 put and place kindness on yourself. Let go of the rules, by the way, because it feels to me like life can be much easier if you were to question the rules that you place on yourself, and yeah, maybe it's not as tight as it can be, like with your assessment of things. Nine of swords in this context, with this representation, feels to me like you could be very dogmatic in good and bad ways at the same time. I feel like, let's address it, like, why am I focusing on the whatever when I can be focusing on what you can look forward to? But I guess that was necessary. I feel like there will be, or it already happened, like this strong sense of like gap and loneliness and the drought and survival and struggle. But in the end, like, you are faced and directed towards the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups. The other message that came through was that the barrier with the control and steel nerves, whatever, could be interfering with your love life and could be painting your love life in a not so very good color, but I want to say eventually there will be an opening, and I think that you are going to be releasing the energy you have been placing on the rules, on the image, on the self-image, and you're faced towards the Ten of Cups and the Empress reversed. In here, like, again, present moment energy. You are the Empress. You will embody that energy, believe it or not. Sooner or later this will happen, and your life will not be about this phase. Like, if I have properly described what you're going through, that means your life will not be about this constant perpetual need to survive, show off, control, and keep the facade. I think this is the case where an ego identifies with something and goes to great lengths to keep this identity from being shattered or from disappearing. Because, and hear me out, like, I'm I suck at this. Like, I am so in the same spot. This is ridiculous if I were to even talk about myself, but there has been there have been actually situations and circumstances that were urging you to identify with the qualities I have just described. But if life feels both like surviving and hard, but at the same time exciting, I think, where I feel most likely in this case, that you'll discover to how do I live life so that I feel excited, but not from the idea of surviving and not from the idea of do more, do better, and let's follow the rules till I faint. That's because what I feel exactly. Like, simplicity would be great thing for it, a great thing for this pile. Even this could be the case of someone being so determined, that it's against their best interest. Like, what's happening? The death card, and it's like, I receive pleasure and happiness and accolades for things not going right in my life or things being difficult. Like, this could be the case of someone as well who identified with their, oh, life is hard and I'm so powerful because I'm going through it, you know? And come on, like, do you know that you will be manifesting similar situations just because you'll have to reinforce this idea that you're so powerful and withstanding? Because this is not a one time, one go situation where, for example, you went through something difficult and now you're powerful. You'll have to go through this again and again till you decide for yourself that, I've had this experience, it has been intense enough for it to last for like what, a month, half a year. Then I need to create one again that is going to validate my feeling of power over things. This is what I'm seeing, and this is such powerful energies of both creation and destruction, but it's creation for self-destruction in this case, and I feel like you could be directing that towards you. So that means taking care of yourself, directing the energy you want to prove anything to the world, directing it back to you, and making sure that you're well taken care of. So ladies, please, and whoever that is, like, I don't care, want to make your nails done, go do it, because why not? Because why do we have to prove the world that we're so powerful when nobody needs that but you? And people respect you whether you are powerful or not, whether you are. People see and love who you are beyond an identity. And this is so, like, speaking from the heart, like, this is so much wisdom and knowledge for me. That's not necessarily, it's plus the audience, but we are in this together. Like, what am I even saying? Money, happiness, family, releasing grudges, creating authenticity in your life. This is all going to be what you can look forward to. And this will all happen, and the doors will be wide open when you will learn to love yourself unconditionally, when you will love who you are beyond anything that you're doing, beyond the activity. Like loving myself just because I am, and not because I'm so successful in life, so powerful. Like, that's the message that's coming through. And great change. I want to say Death card, as well as the other cards, lots of questioning of your foundations is happening. And I want to passionately say that this is both good and bad, because it might hurt, but it's for the good reason. It's for the long term, or some people or some circumstances must be placed in front of us for us to reevaluate and rethink what's happening, because only pain has this capacity to make things, or to want to make things different. That's what I felt. And I'm so sad for this pile, simply because they could be living a life of ease, happiness, and the joy of living. Not only that, not only the joy of living, the joy of you expressing and being you. And this, plus the joy of just being like this, these two, I believe, are the most powerful things you can have. And they are tax free, they are money free. You're already doing that, whether you are trying or not. It's happening, believe it or not. So that was all. Heavy pile number 4. I hope you will not unsubscribe, of course, but this is genuinely what I saw. And I don't like to cover messages, but I will go and make the risk of saying what's actually happening with the cards I have seen, and most likely, like, people who are not gonna resonate maybe will click off, but the people who will need to hear this, I'll be very grateful if at least one of that kind of person is going to listen. Then I guess my life has been, like, my life purpose has been fulfilled. So you know the rules: like, comment, and subscribe. Curious to know, of course, who the pile 4 is going to be, but yeah, that's up to you. Your free time, your resource. If you want to mention it, really glad. If not, then that's okay as well. Take care. Want to see you in the future as well. Bye.